What's up guys, Simon here from Growth Seminars, and I'm here with Chris. He's actually a coach for self-esteem and life purpose, and he actually studied psychology, so he knows a lot about how we humans think. And we actually met not too long ago at an event, at a seminar, where we shared an amazing experience, which we actually want to show you. We actually want to tell you about our experience, what we learned from it. And like you can see, this environment, it's kind of, it used to be a hospital, and now it's kind of died down, and it's gonna be, and this video is gonna have the theme of death. We're gonna talk about how thinking about death and visualizing your own death can help you to find out what's truly important and what you really want to do in life. So I'm really happy to have you here, Chris.
Yeah, thanks for the nice introduction, man. Yeah, like obviously, like we are living like in a society, and also like we have an upbringing where basically the idea of death is completely shut down of our mind. So like nobody wants to think about that we are dying. Like basically the idea would be that everybody is thinking that he's living forever, and therefore we don't have the sense of precious time. We don't have the sense of basically appreciating. We don't have a certain sense of like what is really important in life. And this kind of meditation can actually like give you practical like value in order to get the sense back that like got lost.
So we're super excited to get this started, and let's get started. We started talking about this whole death thing, but what do we even mean? So we were at a seminar a few days ago where we had to lie down on the floor. Everyone, like we're like 150 people or so, and we had to visualize our own death. Every single one of us had to visualize his own death. And why would you do that? Why would you visualize your death? I think Steve Jobs said something along the lines of, remembering that I'll be dead soon is one of the most freeing things ever. Because when you imagine your death, when you actually go through the pain of imagining the rooftop falling down, falling on top of you, you will actually realize how little most things you care about actually matter. Like fucking Lisa at Starbucks being rude to you, it doesn't matter. If you're actually in that situation where like the roof will come down and will just kill you, you won't think about her being rude. You will think about everything you didn't do, everything you didn't say to your family. You will think about everything that actually matters. And there will be very few things, like maybe your family, maybe your life purpose, and everything else will just fade away. And that's the key value of imagining your own death, right? Just kind of figuring out what is important to me and what do I regret in life. And the benefit is finding out what you regret in life is you can actually take steps to do something about it, so you don't have any regrets when you really die.
Yes, like I think it's awesome how to summarize this whole topic. And like, okay, like you mentioned the seminar, right?
Yeah.
And like we went there, and you need really to imagine that like the energy there, like it was so fucking awesome, because like there were like 150 people there, and like all people were lying on the floor, and then there was this guided meditation, and like it was full stereo, like full surrounding, and like just the energy like this moved you basically. And like some of the really practical benefits like I got, like I already teach that to clients, but like in this energetic frame, like it was some more deeper experience even. And like I really like, I saw basically my values popping up like right in front of me, like some mystical experiences. Was amazing. Like I thought in a certain sense I tripped or anything, I took LSD or whatever, I don't know, I couldn't move, like I was like really flashed. I was just like on drugs, man. And like I saw my values and everything. I saw like my mother, my father, like people that are important, that mattered for me, and I had a sense of like love that was just like closed actually in some box inside of me, like where it hid it, but then like all of a sudden it melted, like my heart melted, and it was so intense, man. It was so fucking intense. And like, okay, this was a seminar experience. I know, like, this is a peak of obviously, like, it's like situations you can't get yourself into every day. But like what Simon is sharing right now, like in a moment, is actually a meditation like that won't maybe give you like this LSD trip or something, but it will help you to get the sense of what matters to you? What's my purpose? Like what are the people that are important in my life, and actually experiencing the love for that people again, like really getting in touch with your emotions again, like getting like some sense. Okay, like what would I do like otherwise with my life? Like what could I do actually with my life? Like it gives you insights into this like habits you have every day, and in this routines that you're living your life through, and actually you see, okay, no, that's like not at all how I want to live. Actually I want to do it like that, and this can give you really like the fire under your ass, but not this extrinsic motivation when we're looking up or watching a video on YouTube. Like it's more like this comes from within. That's a realization, because one of the things they're talking about is like the people that have near-death experiences afterwards like are more happy, like really are more like have a greater capacity for love, and also for empathy for others. Like they're doing good, they're finding a life purpose, they're going on this mission, like their life fucking transforms, man. And this is why I am personally so passionate about, and this is also why this is so important for like getting self-esteem, of course, because self-esteem has a lot to do with living accordingly to your values, and this death meditation gives you the fire to live accordingly to your values, man. So I'm fucking excited. Share the fucking advice, man.
Yeah, I'm super excited to have this energy, this vibe next to me, because what really happened, right? You have all these resentments for people, and when you actually think about what happens when you die, you realize that all this resentments is just wasted energy, like it's just useless. So what you have to do in order to really find out what energy of your life is wasted, how much do you procrastinate, how much energy do you spend on things that do not matter, is you have to actually go to that near-death experience, or to that actual death experience, by visualizing it. So here's the very practical steps how you actually do it. You have to create an environment that really supports, this whole process. So the best thing probably is to be alone at home, and then lie down on the floor. Maybe if you want to turn on some music, like some sad music, melancholic music, meditation music, and then actually lie down on the floor. Maybe put some like pillows or like your bed, whatever, your mattress, put it on the floor, but lie down, and then actually start visualizing. And now it just has to be you and your experience, and then just start going right into that shit. Lie there and then visualize as realistically as you can, like the whole roof coming down and just smacking you, and you're just dead, and that's it. And then actually go through that emotion, and then think about the following things. Think about your family. What does your dad think about you? If you had 30 seconds to tell your dad what you want to tell him, what would you tell him? If you had another 30 seconds to tell your mom something, maybe that you love her, maybe that you forgive her, whatever it is, really try to think about what would you tell her. And the amazing thing is, this isn't some creative work. You don't have to actually come up with something that you will tell them, because if you actually do this well, and you feel like you're dying right now, you know what you would tell them. And that is the whole point. You know what to do. You know what you really want to do. You don't have to come up with something. You don't have to come up, if I had a second chance, then I would do this. No, you actually know. You're like, what the fuck? I just died.
It's like
and this is
clear.
it. Yeah, it's just crystal clear. And then think about your dad, think about your mom, and then think about your brothers, your sisters, if you have siblings. Think about your partner. Think about people that you have a deep resentment. And what will even happen, what happened to me actually at the event, was that people that I have kind of forgotten popped up, right?
Yeah.
People from a long time ago where we went out with a fight or whatever, like we had a beef going on and we just never contact each other, they actually came up. So that can happen too. And then think about, what would you tell them? Would you forgive them? Would you tell them that they hurt you? Would you tell them that you love them? And then go further, and then think about your funeral. Like, think about who's at your funeral and what would the people think. And if you had only 30 seconds if you only had the opportunity to tell those people, what would you tell them? That is probably the most important thing, and will happen all the regret, all the guilt, all the anger, everything will come up, and you can actually start to handle all the stuff that will come up. So this is how you actually do this. And what's very important, have a paper and a pen next to you, so you can actually write down what you tell them, because you're going to be in a highly emotional state. And you won't actually, once you calm down again and you're back in your like logical thinking, like why did Susie at like Starbucks, why was she rude to me? When you're back in that thinking mode again, you actually kind of will forget what you all the stuff you experienced and all the stuff that came up. You will just forget. So write everything down right after the exercise. So that was it from me. So I think Chris has some amazing things to add right now.
Yeah, like the only, like he said, like it's really important to write it down so that you don't forget it. But one thing is there that you have to forget, like one thing, and that, like, try to forget that it's an exercise. Really try to feel or try to tell yourself anything it is, so that you buy into this idea of you dying in this very of your self-created experience. This is fucking important.
Yeah.
And yeah, like another thing to keep in mind, maybe some of you people might be hearing or listening to us right now, and you're thinking, okay, these guys are crazy, like just a crazy weird person would imagine themselves that, or just person that have suicidal thoughts or even like are depressed. But like, it's, or some guys even from the, like, who read The Secret or something, they think, oh, but what about the law of attraction? Isn't it that if I visualize that I will attract it into my life then? But it's like, okay, that's a good point. It's actually a good question, but the thing is, you have to like think about it that way. If you visualize something, then you have an intent actually in pursuing it. Like, this is another energy frequency, basically. What you're doing when like visualizing your death is like you want to get from unconsciousness to consciousness. So this also, you want to rise your frequency, basically, and you want to see something that's basically a fact of life, like the fact of impermanence.
Yeah.
Everything is impermanent. You think you're permanent? You think you're living forever? No, you're not. But you want to think that. Your ego wants to think that.
Yeah.
That's basically the job of ego. It wants to survive, and it wants to survive forever. And this is the only reason why we fear death in the first place. So when we get this insight that, okay, basically it doesn't matter, man, basically I will die, like you said, like that's freeing, and this is a process that has its own momentum, and like where you will get better. Maybe in the beginning it doesn't feel like, okay, you can't get much out of this exercise, but the more you do it, the more, maybe like the deeper you get, through more resistance you can plow through, and actually the experience gets richer and deeper and more rewarding and fulfilling, and it's gaining its own momentum, and it's gaining its own value, and this will like give you a completely other outlook on life, and a completely other life perspective that can be so amazingly valuable. Yeah, so please keep in mind that, like, really imagining yourself dying on a regular basis, as weird as this sounds, is actually not pathological, but it's actually psychological, healthy as shit, man. Okay, so that's all I want to add here.
So, I really enjoyed your energy, Chris. It was super nice to have you in the video.
Yours as well.
Thank you, man. So, I mean, just look around you. Everything will eventually become dead, right?
Yeah. It's a great metaphor here.
Yeah, that's a right metaphor. So I think this is the best point to close this video. And again, thank you for you being here.
Man, thanks.
And
thanks, of course.
Peace out.